is this? Why are we describing this? It's because certain types of cells have specific functions in our body. For example, ang atuang liver cells, since it's involved in detoxification and in of course in the digestion of lipids, no, one of its important organelles nga daghan yun, expectedly daghan yun, is ang smooth ER. Whereas the muscles, specifically our skeletal muscles, are expected to have lots of rough ER because of protein production. So proteins are an essential requirement for the building of muscles. Okay? So muna siyang reason nga ng certain types of cells in our body will need to have more the presence of more or presence of certain organelles more than in other types of cells. Okay? So these are fluid-filled tubules for carrying substances, and there are two types of ER. At ang mention ng function niya, it's studied with ribosomes, and it's a site where building materials of cellular membrane are formed. And in the smooth ER, it it is involved in fat metabolism, detoxification of drugs, and cholesterol synthesis and breakdown. Okay, so all of these are actually an important siyang role sa tong liver. So that's why expectedly it's part of the liver cells should have more of these, no? And then Golgi apparatus they also perform an important role within the cell. Now, can somebody tell me, no, what is the important function of the Golgi apparatus? Sige, let's have Angel.
Answer, it modifies and packages the proteins and lipids for transport within or outside the cell, sir.
All right, thank you so much, Angel, no? So that's correct, no? So basically, ang kaning ato ang Golgi apparatus, it sorts and modifies, no, the proteins specifically that are produced. Actually dili lang man protein kay naman pa yung other pathways, no, nga kung asa pa unsa ang fate sa mga different substances that are transported within and outside the cell. So mo na ang important role niya, it modifies and packages proteins much like that of GNT, Flash Express, ano na, Lex kaning sa Lazada, sa kuning mga kuan, no? Ato mga package, mga Shenzhen sorting center. Okay. Anyway, so it produces different types of packages. Actually, tulo ka book na siya, no? Atong i-illustrate later on sa next image. So these are secretory vesicles. From the word secretory, it is secreted from the cell. So it is secreted from one cell and to be transported probably to other parts or to other cells, no, or to other neighboring cells. So other packages which comes in also in vesicle can also serve as part of the cell membrane. Okay, and lastly, lysosomes and peroxisomes, no. So lysosomes, no, ato na siyang i-describe later sa iyang function. Okay, so na siya tulo ka pathway, no. Pathway 1, it contains proteins to be secreted, which then becomes a secretory vesicle, no. So mo ni siya ang mag-transport, no, mo ang no, rider nga magdala sa tong materials that should be excreted via the process of exocytosis. Okay? Pathway 2 is a Golgi vesicle containing membrane components which fuses with the plasma membrane. Sorry. Okay? So fusion, no, fusion ng mahitabo. And then lastly, the last pathway is a Golgi vesicle containing digestive enzymes, which then becomes lysosomes. The other one would be the peroxisomes. Okay, let's continue. Okay, let's have the function of the lysosomes this time. What is its important function within the cell? Anyone? Okay, let's have. Okay, nagbalik na sila. Sige, sorry, wala kayo. Kayo na lang pinakauna. Si Lera. Sige, Lera.
So, the function of lysosome sir kay siya ang garbage collector which is filled with enzymes that breaks down waste and cellular debris sir.
All right, thank you so much, no, Lera. I could sense, no, at least nagbasa gid mo sa material, no. So it contains enzymes that digest non-usable. So meaning, non-usable is just a fancy term for waste, no. So siya ang digest sa waste materials within the cell, no. And that's why it's also often called the suicidal bag of the cell, no. On the other hand, the peroxisomes are membranous sacs of oxidase enzymes, and they are also, aside from the smooth ER, peroxisomes are also involved in detoxification processes. So katong mga harmful substances sa cell nga ga-enter sa cell, they detoxify it, no. And also they break down the free radicals, which are highly reactive chemicals, no. So they replicate by pinching in half. And of course, the mitochondria, kani. What's the important function of the mitochondria? Sige, napailain kay murag balik na yung mga people diri. I need more hands, please. Kinsa pa may pwede kinsa pa may pwede mag-recite. Ala, manawag na ba ko ani? Okay, si CJ na po. Kinsa may pwede dire be? Nangita ko kinsa may pwede na tatawagon diri lain. Okay, let's have. Okay, last call, wala na? Sige. Sige, tawagon ako to na lang si for the meantime si Miss Bendoy.
So the mitochondria, sir, would be kanang emphasizing powerhouses of the cell. They are
Okay.
responsible for cellular respiration, the processes that generates ATP, and also the cell's main energy currency.
All right. Thank you so much, si Rebecca. Thank you so much. No. Um. So they are powerhouses. No. Why are they called powerhouses? Diba? Atong madunggan pa may powerhouse of the cell. It's because ang mitochondria is the plural form. No. The singular form is of course the mitochondrion. So mitochondria are known to be the powerhouses of the cell. And of course, ang iyang main function is to, of course, to carry out reaction where oxygen is used to break down food. Okay, although na-mention ni Rebecca kaganiya, can somebody tell me what is this reaction that oxygen is used to break down food and eventually produce the energy that is needed by the cell? Sige, Dran, what's the answer?
That is oxidative phosphorylation, sir. Ah, my God, listen kasi lito kon.
Phosphorylation. It's very
Oxidative
mm,
phosphorylation.
yeah, I appreciate this because it's very specific. But of the overall process is actually the cellular respiration. No? Thank you so much, Dran. No? That is a very specific answer, by the way. No? Okay. So, of course, no, it provides the ATP, which serves as the energy currency of the cell. And of course, a cytoskeleton, which provides the cell with its shape. No, siya ang provide og shape sa cell. And it's composed of three different types. No, we have the microfilaments, the intermediate filaments, and of course the microtubules. Okay. Of course, the centrioles, which play an important role in cell division, or rod-shaped bodies that are made up of microtubules. Remember, microtubule are one of the three types of cytoskeleton. Okay. So they also direct the formation of the mitotic spindle during cell division. And then cellular projections, as what I've mentioned earlier, one example of it is the microvilli. No, so it's used for movement. Actually, in animal cells, particularly in human cells, we have two types that are present. The first one being cilia, which moves materials across the cell surface. Um, in the video earlier, where can we usually find cilia? In what system of our body can we find cilia? Sa inyo,
Respiratory system,
Respiratory, sir.
sir.
it's in the respiratory system because ang respiratory system filters out the air that we breathe. It filters out the infiltrations that would possibly enter the respiratory tract. No, so ang kato is intended to filter out the uh, impurities. No, and then of course the flagellum, which propels the cell. Okay, what is the only cell in our body that contains a flagellum?
Sperm cell, sir.
Sperm
Yeah,
Sperm
cells.
cells, sir.
it's the sperm cell that contains the flagellum. Isa ra gyud na siya, no? Um, yes, as far as my limited knowledge is concerned, only the sperm cell contains the flagellum. Okay, this is the last part of our discussion this morning because it's almost 10. So in cell diversity, let's describe here the different types of cells that are mainly the focus of our study in anatomy and physiology. First, we have these are what we call the cells that connect the body parts. We call this one as these are the cells that comprise your connective tissues. We will get to know these connective tissues later on in our next lesson, the next chapter. No, so these are cells that connect body parts. So fibroblast, for example, fibroblast is ano ni siya, no? It's actually part of your ano no, is part of your circulatory system. It serves as a kanano sila ang ga-form sa yung clots, no? The form of clots para eventually mag-form din og scar. So fibroblast specifically is involved in scar formation. Erythrocyte, on the other hand, is as an essential component of your red blood cells. Okay. Next, we have the epithelial cells. So they cover and line body organ. We will get to know the epithelial tissues later on. Okay. Next, we have cells that move organs and body parts. So it's intended for movement. No, it's intended for locomotion. So particularly the skeletal muscle cell are the ones that comprise your skeletal muscles, which is of course essential for our locomotion. While the smooth muscle cell, such as those that are found in your internal organs, are responsible for important functions in our body. For example, in digestion. So there are smooth muscle cells that are found in your stomach, in your esophagus, and in your intestines. Okay? There are also types of cells that stores nutrients. For example, fat cells, or also known as adipose cells, which comprise your adipose tissue, the ones that create your bilbil. Okay. Next, we have the cells that fight disease. So these are the essential cells that play an important role in your immunity. So macrophage is a type of white blood cell that engulfs impurities, and they also engulf microorganisms, and expectedly, because they play a role in detoxification, they have numerous lysosomes as well as peroxisomes, no. Again, ako nang gi-mention kaganiya nga depending on the type of cell, no, kailangan na ay certain, no, mas daghan sila ani nga component sa cell, other aside from the other organelles, no. Okay. Another type of cell is the cell that gathers information and controls bodily functions. So these are your neurons, or also known as the nerve cell, no? So ang ilang work is for coordination of the different body organs, no? And of course communication, no? And next we have the cells of reproduction. We only have two types. We have two types here. First we have the ovum or the egg, and then of course we have the sperm or the spermatozoon. And then okay, that's it, no. So since it's almost time, no. Napabay wala na ako natawag ka ganiha. Pwede sa ta magpataas atong virtual hand, no, if wala na ako natawag ka ganiha. Ako na lang i-kuan kadali tong mga um na si Miss Bendoy kaganiya, so I'll be checking yung attendance. Okay, naana ba si Jenny? Wala pa gyapon. Abutan, Miss Abutan. Wala. Okay, Miss Quaresma. Lovely. Okay, wala si Lovely today. Okay, let's have si H3 wala. Okay, wala. So wala si H3. Okay, so that's all for today. By the way, na ako i-send assignment because actually one of your outputs for these chapters, I am going to ask you to create kaning graphic organizer. So although unfortunately wala pa ta mo na group, so I'll be sending the groupings later on. kay para makasabot na din mo kung we will still continue this one tomorrow, no? Maghimo mo graphic organizer that is related to chapter 2. So mag-assign mo kato ako na mention kaganda nga major topics like the cell organelles, cell transport, we also have cell organelle, cell transport, cell cycle, and finally the central dogma himuan ninyo siya og graphic organizer. So I'm sure you already have an idea of what is what is a graphic organizer. If you don't have an idea, you can always use the internet for you to be able to be guided on how to create graphic organizer. Ang graphic organizer niyo will be encoded and to be printed in an A4 bond paper. Okay? A4 bond paper siya. Okay? So ang deadline niya will be at the end of the week, no? Um, we have Friday. Yeah, so Friday na nako ikuha on sa hapon. The deadline will be on Friday afternoon at 5 p.m. Okay? So, do you have any concerns or clarifications? Ang groupings class ako lang i-send later on sa atong GC. Okay? So, as with the other sections that I have, i-group ta mo, ang maximum lang per group is 4. So meaning since there are 34 of you in the class, nay duha ka groups nga tagtulo lang ka members, no. So I will have to make sure nga kaning tulo ka members kay kanon ano ni sila. Kabalo ko nga since I am already familiar with uh, how you work with groups, no. Katong 3 members kay tanaw na ko, I will make sure nga naisa dadto kay nga kuan kanang kaya makadala sa group, no, nga tulo. Maski gamay ra sila kaya gyapon dalo ng group, no. So anyway, let me share to you the groupings later on this within the day so that you can